Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My Democrat colleagues are reacting with manufactured outrage over Elon Musk and the DOGE team going in and cleaning up the federal government. They're saying the American people did not vote for this, but I would like to correct that record. On July 13th, when President Trump was shot in Butler, Pennsylvania, Elon Musk got behind President Trump and he endorsed him. And then on August 19th of 2024, this is before the election, Elon Musk posted on his own account, "I am willing to serve," and that right there says DOGE. This was not something that was created after the election. It is no surprise to the American people. As a matter of fact, the Department of Government Efficiency was a key part of President Trump's campaign, and President Trump campaigned over and over again on DOGE and Elon Musk helping him. As a matter of fact, right here on Rolling Stones, which is very far left, by the way, Trump says he would give Elon Musk a top role in his administration. Again, this was on August 20th, 2024, well before the election. This was no surprise to the American people. The American people love DOGE so much. They love the concept of saving the federal government, saving Americans and putting America first, cutting the waste and the spending, cutting down the size of the federal government. They love it so much, they voted for President Trump and elected him with an overwhelming victory. He won the popular vote, 312 electoral college votes. It's the Democrats that are the ones that are still lost on their message, and their message is a failure, and the American people spoke out about it. As the national debt approaches $36.5 trillion, our children and our grandchildren's futures are being sacrificed at the altar of wasteful government spending and corruption. With my new subcommittee on DOGE this Congress, we are going to dig deep on the wasteful spending and corrupt bureaucracies that have plagued our nation for far too long. We will make recommendations to address these problems, and we will make sure the American people know exactly what is being done with their hard-earned tax dollars. After all, this is what they voted for. Governor Reynolds. In Iowa, the state legislature passed a bill in 2023 that lowered the number of cabinet-level departments from 37 down to just 16. So I'd like to ask you, did this make the Iowa government more efficient or less efficient?
More efficient.
I'm not surprised.
Yes.
How much do you think we can rip out of this wasted $6.5 trillion Harris-Biden budget?
Well, I think we can do at least $2 trillion.
Yeah!
Yes.
$2 trillion.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're being taxed. You're being taxed. All government spending is taxation. So whether it's direct taxation or all government spending, it either becomes inflation or it's direct taxation. Your money is being wasted, and the Department of Government Efficiency is going to fix that.
Elon Musk is seizing power from the American people.
Oh!
We are here to fight back. A few months ago, Elon Musk spent $280 million to buy an election for Donald Trump.
This has been a long time coming. My initial disillusionment became clear when I realized that essentially set $2.5 billion on fire. They raised $1.5 billion through the campaign, another billion through the super PAC Future Forward. And there's been no accountability. We still haven't gotten any answers as to why Oprah, a billionaire, got $2.5 million through her production company. Why couldn't she pay for it? She's an oligarch. She could have just paid for the production costs herself. And not to mention the fact that they spent $450,000 putting Kamala Harris's face on the sphere. Now tell me why that would be helpful. Tell me how that would help her win. Obviously, that was utter failure. And then they spent $500,000 essentially bribing Al Sharpton moments before he interviewed her. And this is our hard-earned money. This is the money that I worked so hard to raise. I raised millions of this, and donors are feeling burned. And let me tell you, although I might be the only one coming forward, I haven't met a single donor who disagrees with me.
Now, no one elected Elon Musk to nothing.
That's right.
Not one Democrat in America voted for Elon Musk.
Not one.
Not one Republican in America voted for Elon Musk. Not one independent in America voted for Elon Musk. Not one libertarian in America voted for Elon Musk. Damn, not one vegetarian in America voted for Elon Musk. And yet, Elon Musk is seizing the power that belongs to the American people. We are here to fight back.
Extreme. There's one request. It's very important. Register to vote. Okay? And get everyone you know and everyone you don't know, drag them to register to vote. There's only 2 days left to register to vote.
Well, everything that they're doing right now is just geared towards undermining this institution that is codified in statute by the U.S. Congress. Their actions to try to reorganize as well as dismantle USAID is illegal. And that was something that I tried to raise when I went to USAID today. I mean, I walked through those doors of USAID over 20 years ago for my very first day working for the federal government. I was so proud to be able to serve the country in that way and to demonize these public servants, to try to take this incredibly important national security tool that we have off the table when we have real threats emanating from Russia, China, and elsewhere. You know, this is something that's just going to make our country less safe and really shows the undermining of rule of law in our nation.
One of the most unintelligent billionaires I have ever met or seen or witnessed. Which, you know, you can probably even glean that from watching these people on TV. Anyways, all of that is to say is that they don't do their homework. Clearly, like, they're putting 19-year-olds in at the Treasury. This dude is not smart.
One of the buzzwords, as we just said, is constitutional crisis. They're leaning into that. Another phrase that we're hearing and an argument repeatedly from the Democrats is no one elected Elon Musk or his team. And I just don't understand, from the party that has fully supported to the hilt every federal bureaucrat forever, who are unelected, faceless people who make all sorts of decisions with our money and have forever, for decades. Now, one person who's unelected making some recommendations with a team and trying to find efficiencies to reduce the size of government and the scope of government, that's the crisis. And who elected them? That logic, that argument could be easily applied to the bureaucratic state that they are defending, possibly with a government shutdown. And I haven't heard them grapple with that hypocrisy at all. No one's asked them. I wonder if there'll be any pushback from many of our colleagues in the media. So far, not so much, which isn't exactly a surprise.
To restrict Elon Musk and his government efficiency team, DOGE, from accessing Treasury Department payment and data systems, they said there was a risk of irreparable harm. What do you make of that? And does that slow you down on what you want to do?
No, I disagree with it 100%. I think it's crazy. And we have to solve the efficiency problem. We have to solve the fraud, waste, abuse, all the things that have gone in the government. You take a look at the USAID, the kind of fraud in there,
and you
where
found
the money's going.
things.
Well, we're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars of money that's going to places where it shouldn't be going, where if I read a list, you'd say this is ridiculous, and you've read the same lists, and there are many that you haven't even seen. It's crazy. It's a big scam. Now, there's some good money, and we can do that through any one of a number. I think I'd rather give it to Marco Rubio over at the State Department. Let him take care of the few good ones. So I don't know if it's kickbacks or what's going on, but the people, look, I ran on this, and the people want me to find it. And I've had a great help with Elon Musk, who's been terrific.
Bottom line, you say you trust him.
Trust Elon? Oh, he's not gaining anything. In fact, I wonder how he can devote the time to it. He's so into it. But I told him do that. Then I'm going to tell him very soon, like maybe in 24 hours, to go check the Department of Education. He's going to find the same thing. Then I'm going to go to the military. Let's check the military. We're going to find billions, hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud and abuse. But I campaigned on this, Brett.
Argued. Now, look, there is a very broad view of executive power. Sometimes it's called the unitary executive theory, which holds essentially that the president is all powerful within the executive branch. But even proponents of that theory do not say that the president is free to disregard an order of the court. If that were to happen, that is a line in the sand. That has not been crossed. Donald Trump did not cross that line in his first 4 years. He has not crossed that line in his first couple weeks here in his second term. But if we get over that line, then we've got a major crisis. And I think it's irresponsible of J.D. Vance. I know he didn't quite go there, but he got pretty close to even suggest that.
This amendment, unfortunately, is nothing more than a clear partisan political attack on Elon Musk, whom the president has tasked with running the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. In November, the American people resoundingly voted for President Trump. Naturally, President Trump is implementing the agenda that the American people voted for. Contrary to the Democrat opinion, there is no fourth branch of government known as the administrative state. No one elected the bureaucracy. DOGE is an office within the White House led by Elon Musk to eliminate wasteful government spending and to reduce unnecessary regulations. To fulfill its mission and review wasteful government spending, DOGE and its staff, including Elon Musk, must have access to data, including data in the federal payment system, to fulfill its mission requested by the president. And I would note that in just a matter of a couple of weeks, they've already found considerable waste, fraud, and abuse, in particular within USAID. Among the things they discovered that the previous administration was spending money on were $1.5 million for advancing DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $2 million for sex changes in Guatemala, $6 million for tourism in Egypt, paying for, quote, hundreds of thousands of meals that went to al-Qaeda-affiliated fighters in Syria, funds for the production of opium, the primary ingredient in heroin, in Afghanistan, which chiefly benefited the Taliban. $1 million to help disabled people in Tajikistan become, quote, climate leaders. $1 million to a Hamas-linked charity, and $15 million for contraceptives and condoms in Taliban-controlled Afghanistan. You will forgive President Trump and the American people for thinking these expenditures are unnecessary and wasteful. And unfortunately, the hysterical doomsday scenarios of data tampering, privacy concerns, or payment delays or rerouting touted by Senate Democrats are false and were dispelled by the Department of Treasury last night in a letter that they sent to Ranking Member Wyden on the Senate Finance Committee. The president is entitled to conduct full review of federal agency spending and regulations through the DOGE, and I intend to do everything I can to help ensure that its important mission is carried out.
Make drastic changes to the party. Top donors have not gotten any sort of briefing or an apology or any sort of explanation as to where our money went. We're $20 million in debt. Someone has to pay that off. I don't understand why it's such a big deal for me to tell the truth, because it seems so patently obvious to me that it was a disaster. This wasn't a loss. This was a shellacking.
So true. Didn't expect that reaction, but that's okay.
Welcome to 4547blog.com, our instant alerts. Keep you informed and ahead of the curve. Visit 4547blog.com now and follow for breaking news alerts.